with another rap, fully automatic first draft, never looking behind or wondering why I spit these rhymes time after time, calling you blind, designing these signs to remind you why you need your fucking eyes open wide to actualize your desire to acquire peace in your own mind. Besides hindsight, your only crime is trying to hide your inner light instead of letting it shine. Good. All right. You asked for it. Shout out to Ninja Dave, dude. Thanks to Ninja Dave, you guys are gonna get to hear my thoughts on the future. And obviously, Bitcoin is a massive part in that future, I believe, personally. The conspiracy, okay? So yeah, there's not necessarily a negative connotation with a conspiracy, but the Bitcoin conspiracy that I am perceiving might be completely wrong about this, but here's what's going on with Bitcoin. You guys ever notice how the price just keeps getting hammered, right? Like it goes up, you got a big run, you're like, okay, here we go, we're gonna break that next barrier. Hammered! Why does that happen? Because a small group, relatively small group of people who have been invested in Bitcoin since the beginning are controlling the price. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. I personally believe these people have cryptocurrency's best interest in mind. And basically, they want to keep it decentralized. So these people who have been invested in Bitcoin since like 2010, think about how many Bitcoins they have. Insane amounts. So in a way, Bitcoin is still centralized within the people who were originally invested in it, just because that makes the most sense. It was cheap back then. You know, anyone who had the vision to see where it was headed, you know, in 2010, obviously was buying it by the bucket loads. So you gotta realize that the whales, the original Bitcoiners, they are controlling the price. I believe that they are connected and they are controlling it together. And I think they probably have like some Discord group. They're like, okay, sell. Yep, they're buying it up. Sell it. Let's hammer that price. Obviously, we got the institutional investors too, but I don't think that the institutional investors have as big an influence on Bitcoin as the original whales of Bitcoin. Okay, so that's what I want to say. I think that's a good thing. I think those original whales are protecting Bitcoin from overheating. They're protecting Bitcoin from doing exactly what we just saw the stock market do, where it literally just overheated and then just died, which is fine. We all know what happens. The crash is always coming. So here's what I want to say. Here's what you got to do, right? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that's not the only thing you need to be putting your money in right now. Obviously, cryptocurrency is going to go up as inflation kicks in. We see inflation kicking in real fast. How do you think the United States is going to deal with the national debt? They're going to debase the currency. If they debase the currency in which they are indebted, oh, well, guess what? The debt just starts to go away, right? Literally. So we're going to see more stimulus. We're going to see more government-free giveaway money because the actual intention behind that is to debase the currency. The more free stimulus they have going out, the more money they're printing, the less value the currency has, obviously. So where does the value go? It goes into commodities. Lithium, uranium, copper, gold. You want to know something? When gold is cheap, buy it. Okay? That's just a basic principle of reality. Literally look at history. Gold is cheap right now. Gold is probably about to see the biggest upside it has literally ever seen in history because the amount of inflation that we're about to see is going to be unprecedented. Now, the way that inflation works is nothing is inflating until the economy actually starts going. So, you know, the economy is slowly opening up here and there. But at one point, Mr. Biden, he's going to flip that switch, the economy, hey, we're open for business. At that point, inflation will come on like a nightmare. And it's only a nightmare for people who only have fiat currencies. They're all screwed. And that's exactly what the government wants. They're trying to literally screw over the entire population by debasing the currency that the majority of people are using. So as that happens, as inflation kicks in, the economy starts up, inflation kicks in, where is the money going to go? Where are we going to make money? Commodities. Basic. The price of commodities goes up when inflation goes up because commodities function independent to this fiat system, okay? They are stores of value. So what's even better are utilitarian commodities, commodities that have specific utility. Lithium is the big one. So we saw what happened in Texas, right? Their whole power nightmare. Well, geez, if they had lithium power storage, that wouldn't even be a problem. So where am I putting my money? I'm putting my money in Bitcoin as like my deep pocket savings, okay? Bitcoin, we haven't even seen what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Once those original whales, once they let that run free, and they'll let it run, you know, at some point, like, okay, let's let them go. Let's let them get to 100,000. They'll let it go. That's partly why we can trust in Bitcoin, because these whales are keeping the price floor at a certain place and they're keeping the price ceiling at a certain place. Yeah, some people probably hate that. Some people think that's, you know, a bad thing. But to those people who think that, you guys got to read the book, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. It's a book about a guy who's trading the stock market in the early 1900s into the 1920s. He talks about all the different phenomena that he experiences and that he engages in when he's trading the stock market in the between 1910 and 1920 primarily. Market manipulation is a common practice. It's actually a good thing. It's always controlling the price of an asset so that it doesn't go too high, so that it has a giant crash, or it doesn't go too low and then everyone sells and they panic and everything like that. Market manipulation is actually to keep people invested. Okay, it's to control the asset so that people don't feel like they're gambling. That's exactly what I'm seeing with Bitcoin personally. I personally think that. I could be literally so wrong, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. And for that reason, Bitcoin is my deep pocket savings account. I believe that Bitcoin is being controlled so that it won't overheat and so we won't lose everything and it's not going to just crash down to like literally nothing. That won't happen. But of course, at the same time, Bitcoin, like right now, if all of your money was in Bitcoin, you probably haven't made a lot of money in the past, I don't know, 3 weeks or whatever, you know, since it came back down from 58K. You know, it's kind of been chilling. So you got to put your money to work somewhere else. I'm putting my money to work in lithium stocks. You know, securities traded on the US equity market. You can buy commodities on the equity markets. That's what I'm doing. Those are the ones that are kind of surviving this massive sell-off, you know? Obviously, weed, you can put your money in weed stocks. That might be good, but weed got beat right the hell down along with the rest of the market. It's no surprise that commodities are kind of holding their ground as everyone's sort of bracing for the storm of inflation. So bottom line here, Bitcoin is your deep pocket savings. But what are you going to be making money off of when Mr. Biden turns on the economy? You're going to be making money on commodities. What are you going to do with the profits you make on commodities? You're going to put them in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hey, if you guys don't know about BlockFi, you ever heard of BlockFi? Like, I know, like I'm a walking advertisement, but literally, you're not even going to believe this. If you never heard of BlockFi, BlockFi pays you money to store your cryptocurrency. So you put your Bitcoin in BlockFi and they pay you 6.5% a year in Bitcoin. So that's partly why Bitcoin's my ultimate savings account, because I have BlockFi. So check out BlockFi. Literally, like, this is how you protect yourself from a government that's literally trying to debase your currency, to literally take all of your autonomy, all of your power. That's what's going on, man. I mean, seriously, we're going to look back on COVID in like 5 years, and we're going to talk about it exactly the way we talk about 9/11. You know what I'm saying here? You know what I'm implying with that? Literally. So good, all right? Commodities. Get ready for the commodity storm. Cryptocurrency's right in there. Good, dude, good.